Let's go.
You beautiful lot. My name's Jason, and this is my 80s podcast. Boom into my heart. This is my Christmas episode. So, I did a Christmas episode the other night with the amazing Kazzie and Lee, and I was asking them some questions about what the 80s was like for them growing up. They were probably a little bit older than I was, but some of the stuff that we're doing, some of the music, especially Christmas songs. So we did we named that Boom Boom with Christmas songs. And I have to be honest, it was quite difficult to try and get some Christmas songs that they wouldn't get. But do you know what? They got this one. So this is me, Lee, and the amazing Kazzie talking about Christmas. So please take a look and a listen. And I will see you all in the new year. 10th of January, I'll be back with some more great 80s podcast stuff. So this is Lee and Kazzie talking about Christmas in the 80s. Go on, have a look. Have a good evening for that.
Christmas.
First.
I had to say it. Right, my name's Jason. This is my 80s podcast. You put the boom boom into my heart. Right, I'm here with the amazing Lee. You're both on my left-hand side, so when I do it all, you'll probably be all over the place. Lee and the amazing Kazza. So this is my Christmas edition, even though I do look like someone just made me up. Right, so I'm going to name that Boom Boom Christmas. So I'm going to read some lyrics, and you got to guess. I mean, you will get some of it. Some from you probably know.
Yeah, Kazzie will.
Right, the first one is, they howled out for more, Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing, we kissed on a corner.
Oh, the one I hate.
Oh, do you not like it?
No, I don't.
Do you not?
American.
He's handsome, he's pretty young. It's a fairy tale of New York, the Pose.
That's it. That's
do you
it.
Not like, see, do you
No,
not
I
like
don't
that?
like it.
Do you not? Do you like
Do
it?
you like it, Lee?
No, can't stand it.
Yes,
Oh,
see?
I do.
I actually, if it comes on the radio, I turn the channel over.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
too depressing, isn't it?
Oh, it just made me smile. I just find it really sad that they've took the is it the fag out? I can't remember what they say. They took some out. Yeah, and I just think, do you know what? You left the slag word in it, but you took the other one out. It's just unbelievable. Right, come on. The second one is, you ready? A time is for living, a time for believing, a time for trusting, not deceiving, love and laughter and joy ever after.
Mistletoe and wine.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Oh, Lee.
Oh, you're one of those, are you? That's what I do. I always say when I watch them, I was going to say that, you know.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Right, the third one, you ready? Your third one is, you will get. I have to be honest, this is probably the first time I've ever looked at the lyrics to this song. And when I read them, I thought, I've never sang that in that song. I always sing something completely different. Honestly, seriously, I always sing. How have I got to 40 years later? Right, you ready? Bring peace and joy this Christmas to West Africa. A song of hope.
Do they know it's Christmas?
Yeah, but it is.
I knew. I
didn't know they were the words.
Was
like,
that
right? Yeah, do they know it's Christmas? Absolutely. I just think, how have I not known what the lyrics were to that song? I was singing something else, to be fair. I was probably singing something else to myself.
I don't think it actually matters what you sing.
No, it don't. Not when you got the voice of an angel. It really doesn't matter, does it? Do you know?
It all sounds the same.
As
long as you don't.
Come on now, Lee. I've got an high octave range that could literally rip the wallpaper off the ceiling.
Yeah, my voice can melt wallpaper.
That's the best way to film. Right, your third one is, don't you know we've come too far now just to go and try to throw it all away?
Oh, thingy.
I didn't know. There's no in the charts called Thingy Dot.
Probably is, actually.
Right, would you like...
Another day.
Oh, who sings it?
Oh.
He's 17.
He's 17. Well done.
you know we've come too far now. I'd sing that. I do like that. See, that wasn't even supposed to be a Christmas song because it's a tragic song, isn't it? But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But we love it. Right. Last. Oh, this is the last but not least, ladies.
Oh.
This is your it's your last one, not but least. If you don't get this one, I don't know what you won't get. Right. So I've only done 2 bits because it's quite easy to get this one, and it's about a face on a lover with a fire in his
Last
heart.
Christmas.
A man undercover, but you tore me up last Christmas. That's
I
it.
was just saying that.
Classic.
That was it. That was the last Christmas one done. Do you know one? That has got to be one of my favourite.
Yeah, and mine.
Coming onto our podcast now. So, what would be your favourite top 2 songs for Christmas? Go on, Kazzie, I'll get to you first.
Last Christmas.
Yeah.
And Shaking Stevens, actually.
Oh. See, I always find that quite weird because the only reason I find that weird because that song. Have you seen the video to that song?
Yeah.
He's kissing.
It's a weird
Kissing
one.
a child under the Christmas tree. But in the 80s, we weren't as warped as we are now, were we? So we didn't.
No, exactly.
Go on, Lee.
Go on, Lee.
What's yours?
Well, it's got to be something by Ed Sheeran, obviously.
Oh, do you like Ed Sheeran?
What was the one Ed Sheeran did with Elton John?
Oh,
You've got to be 80s, Duck.
yeah.
And
That's
okay,
not 80s.
Even I was thinking, I'm sure that's not the 80s. We're going back to Free Willy now, aren't we?
I don't know.
80s songs.
80s.
80s
80s,
Christmas
Lee.
songs. Come on, Duck. We're not in the Ed Sheeran here. I don't think he was born then.
No, I don't.
He was a twinkle.
I don't know. I haven't really got a favourite one. Not a Christmas one. I just
Some people
Love
don't
them all.
Yeah.
Apart from Fairy Tale New York.
apart from Fairy Tale of New York.
See, I have to be honest. Mine would probably be mine. I mean, one would have to be in there Last Christmas. But see, I always think because it's like you. I kept even I forgot. I thought can't have Mariah because she weren't in the 80s. So it probably would be. See, I do like Stay Another Day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I kept looking if that was an 80s song, and it is. It's right at the end, isn't it?
Mhm.
But then I do love, and I know it wasn't supposed to be a Christmas song, but like Jason Donovan and Kylie, especially for you, was out at Christmas, wasn't it? So
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I quite like that as well. But I think there's loads of, for me, there's loads of songs at Christmas. I like loads of them, to be honest, and I do like the old ones, and I know you don't
I like all the X Factor.
That take me on to the next one. What is your worst song apart from Fairy Tales of New York, a Christmas song that you don't like? Because there is some out there you just think I can't listen to that. You have to take Fairy Tale of New York out of it.
Mariah,
But that's not an 80s song, Duck.
isn't it?
No, we're going for Free Willy again, aren't we?
It just comes on one.
Mind you, if you don't like, some people don't know many Christmas. I've got a friend of mine, that literally loves the music, but it's not at all Christmas songs at all.
What's
She
the
loves
one?
Christmas.
Band-Aid's right up there as well with Last Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah. And we were talking about this
I
because
don't think I do like anything else apart from Fairy Tale of New York.
Is that the only one you don't like?
That's the only, I think that's the only one.
I'm not a big fan. I mean, I did Mistletoe and Wine. I'm not a big fan of Cliff Richard, I have to be honest.
I mean, Cliff Richard ones, they're sort of like, okay.
Yeah.
But when you hear them and you're out and about or at a party or anything, you sing along to them.
Because you go, it's Christmas!
It's Christmas!
I look like one of fucking Muppets then, didn't I? Like Kermit. Right, so what we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about loads of things. I'm going to talk about, because I've not spoke to you two about it, so I was talking about because it's Christmas, I want to know what your ultimate, and I'm going to start with Lee first, Christmas movie is. But it's got to be an 80s one.
got to be done.
What? Die Hard.
Oh God.
I don't care what anyone says. That is a Christmas film.
It is absolutely a Christmas.
It is. It absolutely is a Christmas. Go on, Kazzie hasn't got a clue.
Oh no, I'm like,
What about-
well,
Do you like?
I
it?
like
Do you like
The
a lot
Wizard of Oz because it's on every Christmas.
Yeah, but like, what about things like Home Alone? No, See, I always
Home
thought,
Alone.
but it's not. I thought that was an 80s film, But I think
It's not, is it? It's 90s.
It's 90, but it was right at the cusp of
Yeah.
89, and I think that's why people think it is, but it's not. I always thought that was, but it's not, and I just think, go on, Christmas film, 80s. I have to be honest, you're not mine.
What about Christmas Miracle on what's the street? Is that 80s?
Well, that was an 80s. There was, yeah, I'm sure it was somewhere in the 80s. Somewhere there was a film called Christmas on Miracle Street.
It's so. Do you know what? It's a Wonderful Life, but that's not 80s. That's
no, it's not.
No. And The Holiday, and that's not 80s either.
No, one of my favourite ones is Gremlins.
Oh yeah.
I don't care. That's a Christmas film, and it's a bit like Die Hard, is it? When people say it's not a, no, it is.
Yeah.
It happened at Christmas.
Christmas.
It's all over. Christmas is written all over it. It's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like in the 80s. That as much as the 80s did loads of amazing, and they did loads of Christmas films, but I think a lot of them were just a lot of people don't have them as Christmas films, do they? But
no, they're just on at Christmas.
Absolutely, Die Hard. Absolutely, I don't care what anyone says. Die Hard is a Christmas film.
There's a camp of it's not, but it 100% is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care.
It snows.
Yeah.
Yeah, it snows.
It snows and there's presents in a tree.
Yeah.
That's all.
And it's Father Christmas.
See what I mean? It is we say it's a Christmas film, so it is.
Because the policeman he dresses up as a Santa Claus, doesn't he?
See, it's got all the Christmas in there. So, right, my next question, now we've gone on with Gremlins and Thinger, is what were, right, Christmas, I mean, obviously we're all going to be different ages in the 80s growing up.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to be fetus and you're going to be older.
I'm the oldest. Go on.
By what, 10 years did you say, Lou?
Oh, you cheeky devil.
She's terrible.
It's only 2 years.
Is it? So obviously we're both all different in the 80s. So what would be so if you in the 80s growing up, what would be your it's a bit different because it's older, isn't it? So you'd be a bit older in the 80s. So what item did you have in the 80s that you would always use and constantly in the 80s? Something that you had that you don't get now, and it can be anything. And please don't say vibrators, ladies, because you can still get them now.
I don't think they were out either, were they?
Were they not? Oh no. No, you had bike seats you had to sit on. God, that's got to come out, Joe. But if there was an item, if there was anything from the 80s that you could, that you had, you just, I absolutely could not be done with it. I mean, I've spoke to some people and they've all said, right, hair dryers and things like that, but I don't know about that because I never had any. So
I got married in 88 and my mother-in-law, obviously I was together with my husband before that, always bought me leg warmers.
Oh, she hated you. She hated you. But the thing is with leg warmers, I mean, do you know now to get them, Lee?
You can't.
No.
You can't. No, you can't. You can get ones with feet and stuff because I got those for my mum last year.
I've got loads.
What, leg warmers?
Leg warmers. I've got pink ones, blue ones, green ones, yellow ones, and orange ones.
Kazzie?
Yes.
I've got a question for you. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
she likes the 80s and she likes to keep her legs warm.
Because I go to a lot of 80s, so I go to a lot of 80s events.
You do.
So what would your be? Because you could be leg warmers if you like leg warmers. or from the 80s? Because I always think, like, what would you? We spoke about this before, didn't we? What would you bring back from the 80s as well? What was that's not there now?
Oh
There's
God.
so many things. It's like it's like things in. I always remember. I mean, I keep going on about my Harrington jacket. I do need to let this go because I've probably spoke about this on every single part of my podcast when it comes to clothing. But I used to have like I used to have a great pair of flares though. But we used to have, at first we had the flares, didn't we? Because when we were just coming into the 80s, the early 80s, we had the flares, didn't we? Because obviously most of the flares were the 70s, and I always remember in the early 80s everything was a little bit tight. One cough and
everything was revealed.
Absolutely. But then is it gone up? And I've said this before as well. Then praise the Lord, the 501 Levi jeans came out, and I used to have the twisted ones. They were the best fit ever.
Well, I had Johnny Q jeans.
Did you?
Yes.
I'll tell you what you can't get now, but everyone had them in the 80s. Body warmers.
Oh yeah, they did.
Body warmers anymore? They're gilets.
Oh yeah, they are, aren't they? Gilets. What the?
Someone was like, I want a gillet.
I have to be honest, I've never heard of it. Is that what it's called? Gilets?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because someone was calling them a gilet.
A gilet.
Oh.
Hush my mouth.
I've never heard of that, and it's like, oh, scared of my tits. I feel like I got a wig on.
Yeah, so do I.
And do you know what else? What we need? Kazzie's got a weave on.
I've got a weave on. It's still got it.
How long? I know what I was going to talk about as well. I was talking about this.
Talk about my weave.
I'm going to mention it to you, lot. It's like things like I was looking at the other day. I remember, like, I know what food. Everything's a bit more expensive now, but I remember in the 80s. I remember a tin of Quality Street was like a effing box. It was like that.
I know.
It was like that.
How smaller the tins got now.
Oh my God. And yeah. And I always remember, not even a love art. I always remember them being that big that I used to think to myself, how is that?
And they lasted for ages.
Yeah. And I just think it's just so. I mean, there's loads of things, and it's like the Quality Streets. I mean, they've been out for years and years. But I remember growing up, and the tins were humongous because my mum used to put all and grandma used to put her sewing stuff in it when they'd finished.
Did she? My mum used to put her cakes and that in it.
Oh yeah,
afterwards.
We used to use that.
Yeah,
we used to use that when I used to go to school in the 80s because obviously when you used to do like home economics and cooking food, I have one of them old tins to think about. I just think it's just, when you think like things like are so expensive now, aren't they? You know what I mean, compared to growing up.
And they've stopped all the flavours.
Oh, they did. Yeah,
you can't get orange anymore, can you?
Can't get orange, strawberry.
Oh, you used to get a lot of strawberries when I was a kid.
And coffee.
Oh.
So loads of people hate the coffee, don't they? But I quite like the coffee. But I know people used to hate it, didn't they?
I used to get them because everyone used to hate them, and I used to get them.
And
we were actually the perfect family because my dad liked the coffee, my mum liked the orange, and I liked the strawberry. So
we were the same, and I used to like the whole tin. I've got a terrible chocolate sweet tooth, so I used to love the tin thing and all that. So another thing
that's really annoying him.
I can feel it here. It's like when I'm not even. I'll tell you in a bit. It's like it just really, really. Aggravated. This can be cut out in a bit. I think I'm fucking going all over the place. So, what was your absolute favourite item of toy growing up in the 80s? So what was the one toy that you literally could not put down? And I mean, I've seen loads of 80s toys now that I want to buy, that, you know, if you want to buy to put in your room, and they're so expensive. And do you know, I always say to my sister, why did you not save that? Why did you not save that? Why did we not save that? Do you know what I mean? Do you know, like loads of things? I mean, because you just throw them away, didn't you, when you eat? as you got older, your mum saved them for a bit, then threw them away. And
Yeah.
I always think, why didn't I save them? So what was the one item from the 80s? I know you're probably a little bit older, but it doesn't have to be a toy. It can just be any item from the 80s, like you said before. But what toy did you used to, or what toy did your kids used to have in the 80s? If you had children, because you might have had
Big
children.
yellow teapot.
Oh, my sister used to have.
No,
They're
that was
so
my
expensive
kid.
now.
No, it weren't.
Yeah, it was.
No,
Because
it weren't.
What?
and she was born in 91.
They were they did have them in the 80s. The
They
yellow
did have them in the
teapot.
very late 80s.
Late 80s have come up, but the other
Yeah.
one was like, what's that treehouse thing?
Oh yeah.
What is it? The treehouse? Yeah, the treehouse. Because I remember, and you know, I always remember my sister having. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, and I don't know whether it's called this, but it's called. Was it them little chickaboos? Is that what it's called?
Oh, a chickaboo.
You know the one-
With the great big eyes.
And you used to have the thumb in the mouth, didn't they? Is it
Yeah.
Please tell me I've said that right, and I'm not offending anybody by saying that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's called that.
Yeah, and I remember both my sisters used to carry them around with them, and it's really bizarre. I think they're the little baby monkey. They're supposed to look like little monkeys. Cause I remember my sister was wanting a monkey when a little baby one. I kept saying no, Dot, you don't.
And the peekaboos, do you remember them?
Yeah, I
like
remember
in a fluffy ball, and you open them up and they pop out.
And them glowworms.
Glowworms.
Did you have a glowworm, Lee? Oh,
Oh,
what would you do at Christmas? So do you know Christmas? But Christmas Eve, what was your routine? I know you're a little bit older, ladies, and I'm not saying that just to old bitches. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is what because I was only like a bit younger. I was only 2 years younger than you two.
You
Well
obviously
made up, Joe. Well, you recovered from calling them old bitches then. So what was your Christmas Eve then be like, Kazza?
Christmas Eve was scrambling to find the biggest sock you could.
So Santa would come and fill it.
And putting a carrot out on the front door for Rudolph.
Oh, yeah, see, that's the thing, isn't it? Do they still do that now? Because I always remember it
mince pie.
Do they?
For Santa Claus.
Because I always remember growing up. When we were like
a what?
A what?
A carrot for Rudolph.
Yes, a carrot for Rudolph.
But I always think, it's like when I honestly, I absolutely believed all that when I was younger. So like especially the 80s, because I was about 10 in 71. 81, I was 10, sorry. And I used to put that out, and you'd come back and there'd be a bite in the cookie, and you'd think, oh, Santa's. Do you know? Children, don't watch this because he's not real, but I'm just saying.
Funny story. One year, my mum forgot the carrots.
Oh.
And we had to put a turnip out. But my husband had to nip to make it look like roll. He had to bite into a turnip.
Did you? Oh, a raw one. Oh my God.
Legend. Legend. What he wouldn't do for his daughter.
Exactly. But I think for me, Christmas Eve when I was younger, I used to love the telly, the TV. You know, like, because they always had specials on, didn't they?
Yeah.
No matter where you were in the 80s, they always had.
Was that Morecambe and Wise?
What was that again? I couldn't hear.
Morecambe and Wise Christmas specials.
Morecambe and Wise,
and then they used to have Cannon and Ball, didn't they?
Cannon and Ball.
Love
Rock
Cannon.
on Tom. My dad used to
Rock on Tommy. Bloody.
And you knew what he was going to say, so why? And you still laughed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like I always remember the Christmas specials, and I always remember the adverts, and I always remember radio. You'd be waiting for your mum to bring that Radio Times home, so you could literally see what was on telly.
Oh, Radio Times, the TV Times. Oh yeah.
Do you know what makes me laugh?
And go ringing everything. Ring it. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that.
What makes me really laugh about that now is when you think about that, there was only 4 channels.
I know.
Well, no, there were only 3.
It was only 3 when we,
Oh, when you were born in the 40s.
Yeah.
In the 40s.
But I think in the 80s, it was the end of the 80s, wasn't it, when they brought Channel 4? I'm sure Channel 4 was in the 80s. They did bring it out in the 80s.
Did they?
Yeah,
It's only late 80s
because that was, remember Brookside? Brookside came out in the 80s, and Brookside was on Channel 4.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
That was
it's got to be
quite
late 80s though.
Yeah, I don't think it
Really
was like
late.
yeah.
I always remember the Radio Times and going absolute, and you'd sit there and you think, and they, just because it would tell you, like, I mean, nowadays you can find that out, can't you? But it would tell you what was. So you get like was it the whole of Christmas and New Year, didn't you? And you'd flip through it, and you'd be able to read what was happening in some of your favourite shows. And because I was, as everybody knows, because I was obsessed with EastEnders in the 80s, I literally used to go through and read everything, the whole paragraph, what was happening for the whole week, and it was like heaven. I don't know why. And the fact that I used to record it on my cassette, which is even sadder.
I can't say I was that obsessed.
Oh, I was.
Do you know, I tell you what, when I used to watch EastEnders, Lee, was when Dan and Angie was in it more than anything else.
Oh yeah,
that was a Christmas scene and a half, wasn't it?
The bit where he gave her them divorce papers, it was like, it was like my young little gay man was, even though I probably didn't know it at the time, was just absolutely gobsmacked, to the point that obviously, because was the video record? No, we didn't have a video recorder. We lived on a council estate, so I don't think we had a video recorder then. To the point that I used to record the episode on a cassette. So I had one of them ghetto blasters.
Did you?
I used to pull it up to the teller and record it. And record. Well, it used to be on Sundays. EastEnders didn't it, in the 80s? So you had like the double bit. So I used to go up. I had a little telly, so I used to go upstairs and record it, practically hold my breath. So that, and you know what? I always remember my sister coming into the room. It's like you thought she'd murdered someone the way I went mad at her, because I was recording it. And she, Jason, because it recorded anything, didn't it? It was.
Yeah.
But you need to. They were classics, though, weren't they? That was classic 80s TV show, especially the Christmas stuff, especially the divorce papers, because the Christmas thing was massive, wasn't it, for soaps and TV shows?
How amazing was that? Thanks ever so much to Lee and Kazzie for short notice and coming on and doing my Christmas episode for me. Everything about the 80s, I just, as you know, I love the 80s, but Christmas in the 80s was just absolutely brilliant for me. I loved it with all the TV times and all the TV shows that you don't get now in the 80s. So that was my interpretation and our laughing and joking about what we did in the 80s at Christmas. So please follow, like, comment, share on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I keep saying Twitter, don't I? It's X. Still be Twitter to me. Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. Share, like, comment, and follow me for some new episodes coming up. And from me to you, have an amazing Christmas and an even better New Year. Have a good day, you beautiful lot.